Please focus the projector and adjust the sound level. Whenever we walk into any organization and someone calls us by name, we feel welcome and important. We love to be recognized. Banks spend thousands of dollars advertising personal service. Yet to our banker, we're a number on a check. Hospitals train their staff that every patient is unique. Yet to the nurse, we're the appendectomy in room 113. Managers are told they can get more production by being people-oriented. Yet to the executive 3 levels above, we're a cost item on the budget. Nobody knows our name. If your job involves dealing with people, this film is dedicated to you and to everyone who has difficulty remembering names and faces. Unfortunately, we've all been embarrassed because we couldn't recall a person's name. Take Barney Thatcher, for instance.
Hey, Barney, I haven't seen you at the club lately.
Oh, hey, what's new?
I got my name.
Oh, wait, it's right on the tip of my tongue.
Jerry. Jerry Wolf.
Jerry Wolf. I'm sorry. I just went blind for 1 second.
That's what you said last time we met.
Well, it is a failing of mine. I admit it, okay? Hey, how's the golf game?
Hey.
Barney Thatcher, what luck to run into you.
Oh, hi, good to see you.
Oh, Barney, I need another 100 gross of those 2575s of yours.
Well, fine.
They're the hottest item in stock.
Is that right? Oh, that's great. You know, I'm glad I ran into you because I got something that's going to interest
Barney,
you. Barney,
I wish I could talk, but I can't. I'm late. I've got to catch a plane tonight. I'm going to be gone about 3 weeks.
Oh, yeah?
Look, can you be in the office at 4 o'clock?
4?
I'll write out that purchase order for you.
You got it.
Good. See you later, Barney.
Okay, and listen, thank you, dear God help me.
I don't believe this.
He looked a little bit familiar to you, didn't he?
Why don't you look him up?
I would if I could remember his name. And I got to remember his name. This is important.
Barney, how do you function in this world of business? Tell you what you ought to do. Why don't you take memory lessons like a friend of mine did?
Memory lessons. From whom?
Diamond. Professor Diamond. He's got a memory act down at the Mayfair Music Hall.
A vaudeville professor. He's got some gimmick, that's all.
Oh, you ought to see his act. It's amazing. And so what if it's a gimmick? A friend of mine told me it's the greatest thing going.
You know what it is? A grown man taking memory lessons. It seems silly.
Do you remember when you had a problem with your slice? You called a pro at the golf shop and took lessons, right?
Yeah, you got a point there. He was a nice guy, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget what's his name? What's his name? Oh. I'm going to take your advice. I'm going to do it. Where do I find this fella?
He's appearing at the Mayfair Music Center on Santa Monica Boulevard.
Great. Thank you.
Jerry Wolf.
It's on the tip of my tongue. I'm so sick of saying that. I know you must be busy. I really appreciate you squeezing me in for a lesson between your shows.
No problem. I think I can be of help. That is, if you understand that I'm not a magician and I can't give you an instant magic memory. Here, well, why don't you sit down?
Oh, thank you.
You see, remembering names like any skill, tennis or golf, takes practice. It comes slowly.
I understand.
Now, would you mind spelling your name Thatcher for me?
C-H-A-T-C-H-E-R.
Just knowing the spelling helps me to grasp it. Is it English?
Originally, yeah.
Oh, Thatcher. Now, that could have been the name of a man who thatched roofs for a living.
Never thought of that.
It was only a guess. Oh, I want you to meet my friend, Michael McGivney, the quick change artist.
Hi.
Excuse me, what is a quick change artist?
Watch. I'll show you.
Terrific. Terrific.
Michael and I have worked out a system presenting my method of remembering names and faces. Michael, would you see if the projector's all set?
Sure.
Thank you. Say, what were you talking about when we first met? Do you remember?
Yeah, you were interested in my name.
Right, because I wanted to remember it. So I repeated it, and then I asked you to spell it.
And also where it originally came from.
Right, because I wanted to concentrate all my attention on remembering your name. You see, just making the effort to remember a name will help. You see, most people are more apt to remember faces than names. Is that true of you, Mr. Thatcher?
Certainly is.
Yeah, well, you see, a face is a unique image, while a name is a sound. And the mind seems to grasp and hold images, while sounds, unless they form a familiar pattern like a jingle, tend to slip away. Now, that's the key to the secret of remembering names. We turn sounds into images.
Sounds into images.
Now, the first step in remembering a name is to associate it with something familiar to you. Now, many names are connected with occupations like a plumber or a baker. In your case, I figured you were thatching a roof.
Sure.
The projector's all set.
Ah, good. Now, Michael and I are going to show you some pictures, and then Michael will show you the images.
I don't understand.
You will.
Oh, well, that's your name.
Right. Now, what does my name make you think of?
Stones, jewels.
You mean like this?
Yeah, right, like that.
Right. You see, you associate my name with something familiar to you. Now look at my face. Now, what's the first thing you notice? What is my most outstanding or prominent feature?
There's so much to choose from.
I'm aware of that, but what stands out the most?
Well, no offense. Your nose?
Yes, I do have a rather large nose. If it was smaller, you might not have singled it out, but there would have been something. There's something unique about everyone's face, something that you notice first.
True.
So the important thing is to concentrate on that feature, then exaggerate it in your mind, get an image of my face with a huge nose. Michael, will you show him what I mean?
Sure.
Now you'll see Michael's function in this learning process. He shows you how to exaggerate images.
Ta-da!
You gotta be kidding.
Oh, no. You see, Michael has produced the image you selected and exaggerated. Now, that's what you should do in your own mind when you want to remember a face.
I don't know.
You see, first impressions are usually lasting impressions. So you pick the first feature that you noticed and get an exaggerated image of it in your mind. And that way you won't forget. Now, be honest. If you saw me again, do you think you could remember my face?
Be hard to forget.
Okay, now, let's see if we can tie my name in somehow.
Right.
What's he gonna do now?
Well, with a quick change artist, you never know. Now, you see, by joining my most outstanding feature, the nose, and the image my name created for you, the diamond, we formed an association, an image you won't easily forget. But remember, the image I come up with won't necessarily be the one you come up with. The association has to have meaning for you. Do you have any questions?
Yeah. When I meet somebody, I'm listening to what they're saying, and I'm trying to think, what I'm going to say next. How can I think of all this other stuff at the same time?
Well, you really can't take much time then, but you can after they leave. Now, you'll find it'll become easier and quicker as you practice.
Well, what if I can't, though? I mean, what if I can't just think of any association at all?
Don't be discouraged. If you just try, you'll automatically be concentrating on the face and the name as you never did before. And that alone is going to help a lot. Now, are you ready to try something a little different? I mean, a bit more difficult?
Sure.
Good. Now, what feature impresses you immediately?
Glasses.
Michael?
One pair of glasses coming up.
So I'm nearsighted.
All right. Now, let's find out her name and see what you associate with that.
Gloria Hendrickson.
You see, some names have no meaning and create no pictures. In these cases, it's usually easier to create a picture or an image by repeating the name, only slower and then breaking it down into parts.
Hendrickson.
Oh, come on, use your imagination. Break the name down.
Okay. Let's see. Hendrickson. Son.
Good.
Something under the sun. Okay. Hendrink. A hen drinking. Would that work?
And you thought of it, you tell me.
I think that would work. Yeah. Could I have a hen on top of the glasses drinking?
Can't think of anything I'd rather do.
How do I deserve such cooperation?
It works. Hen, drink, son. Hendrickson. I could never forget that name with that image in my mind.
Yeah, but do you see what you've done?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think so. The name itself didn't mean anything to me, so I substituted words that sounded the same, but did mean something to create a picture.
Yes, but only when you associated those words with her outstanding feature.
Right. By connecting the name and the face, I make an image that I won't likely forget. But, can I ask you something? How am I going to accomplish all this without a quick change out, Mr. Long?
Well, you got to use your imagination. It's not easy, but you got to practice. Once you get it down, it works like magic.
Professor, what about this?
Oh, yeah. Thank you, madam. You see, there are many names ending with the sound of the sun. Johnson, Jackson, Peterson, Erickson, Stevenson, and you can use that symbol over and over again.
It's a good idea, that'll help you.
If you guys don't hurry up, I'm going to have to get out the suntan lotion.
What do you think, Bonnie?
Looks kind of silly.
But will it make you remember it?
Sure will.
Then it's good. You see, the wilder the image, the better your chances of remembering it. Any questions so far?
Yeah. Well, how about, it's not all just last names. How about first names? What do you do about them?
Oh, it's very much the same. You think of a substitute word and get it into the picture. For instance, my first name is Bill. Now, how would you get that into the picture you've created for my name?
Got it. I'm going to stick a dollar bill right under your chin.
Very good. Bonnie, I think you've caught on very well. With some practice, I think you're going to do all right.
Well, thank you. I hope so.
Just don't forget, when you want to remember someone's name, be sure you hear the name properly. Then repeat it during the conversation. And when you say goodbye, and after they leave, write it down.
Mm-hmm. I just wish I'd come to you sooner. I lost a big sale this afternoon.
Oh, how's that?
Yeah, well, I ran into a customer. This is part of the reason I came to see you. And he wanted to reorder, big order. As a matter of fact, I'm supposed to be at his office this afternoon to write the order up. The only trouble is, can't remember who he is.
Oh, yes, you can. How do you think people generally recall names and faces?
How?
By just the way we've been talking about. By association. We've just made it more visual and systematic.
Nah, no, don't understand.
Look, think of your head as a storage box. Now, every person you meet can be stored there if it's important to you. You just need some hooks to get it out.
Hooks?
Right. What we notice about people and their faces become cues or hooks. You see, there are many other cues we also use. Where we meet people, who they were with, what happened. These are all cues that we use to retrieve a name. Now, let me show you what I mean. You said someone gave you a big order. All right, now where are you when you take big orders, usually?
Where?
Mm-hmm.
Could be 15, 20 different places.
All right. Did he mention what he wanted to reorder?
Yeah, 100 gross at 25.75.
And how many people have bought 100 gross of those recently? I mean, people who might reorder.
Yeah, right. 100 gross. Take about 6 or 7 months to need more. Yeah, 6 or 7 months ago, I made a lot of sales, pretty big sales. But who were they? I mean, who were they? Who were they? Well, could have been any one of 10 or 12 people.
Well, Barney, is everyone who buys the product in the same occupation?
No. No, some are building contractors and some are plumbing contractors. And it wasn't a building contractor, it wasn't. Which leaves, it was, it was the new account in the gold building, that gold building, Harper, his name is Bill Harper. Oh my God, Bill Harper.
Well, that's great. Well, okay. Now let's see what you did. Use whatever associations you had. These are hooks.
Yeah?
All right? Now, we recall people by where we met them, who they were with, what they said, and what happened. All right? The more hooks we use, the more likely we are to remember them, especially if we exaggerate the image.
Well, when I see Mr. Harper, I'm going to have to think of some wild image.
Right, but always in relationship to that gold building.
Right. Maybe I can picture him playing a gold harp.
Very good.
Thanks. For the memory. If I hurry, I can catch up with Mr. Harper right now.